I'm going to tell you one thing I noted when I'm listening to Glass Onion. It's obviously a little bit of a pastiche on themselves. He's doing some Beatly Beatles, just kind of like what George did with When We Was Fab. It's very, very similar what George did. Maybe it was a tribute to Glass Onion. Who knows? When I think about the Beatles' White Album, I kind of think about it as an experience because that's what it was like for me when I was a kid. Well, when I was a teenager in the 70s, experiencing it for the first time. I mean, I got it. I said, hey, look at this, check this out. I got out the turntable, got out the headphones, and I go, okay, what's going on here? Because yeah, you have all the great songs, etc., and you love listening to these guys. There's all these little bits and voices and vocalizations and different sounds and harmonies in there. And again, something that you can't quite put your finger on with the Beatles' White Album. And that's, again, I think why I love it so much, because it is sort of like an art piece. The Beatles had these experiences in Rishikesh, and they created these songs, and they put it together in a studio, sort of at like a fractious time for them, at a time when they were, breaking out of the 60s, breaking out of the beginning of the 60s, and kind of rediscovering who they were as individuals and maybe even as a group too. Kind of saying, like, what do we really want? Well, you know what? We really are just going to do what we want in the studio. So yeah, they indulged themselves with the White Album. They had a good experience. They had, I think they probably had a good time making it, when all's said and done. Maybe they look back on it differently, who knows? But again, when you listen to this, there is a lot going on here. And, it's not all that clear in a lot of ways, because again, it is just music. You have the songs, you have Back in the USSR, you have Julia, you have Blackbird, you have Don't Pass Me By, Good Night, Piggies, Savoy Truffle, all those songs. And again, I'm not a music expert, or anything of that nature, so I really can't analyze the songs. All I can do is just say, this is what I feel. This is what they make me feel with the White Album. I can feel that they're having fun. I can feel that they're saying, like, helter skelter, look at this, look what I'm doing here, look what I'm kind of discovering. Isn't this great? It's all over the place, it's messy. Yeah, we're made a mess over here. We'll just leave it for later. We might clean it up. Oh, look at your blues. Oh, look at this, we're having a great time here. It doesn't really matter maybe what the words are or what we're saying. Okay, sort of like It's a Northern Song, sorry, that's another album. But again, there's a lot of hearkening back from those old songs like Hey Bulldog, Only a Northern Song, I think, and others in this album. So it is kind of like a crossover, because it also kind of like leans a little bit forward as well. It kind of takes us forward to the Let It Be album, and then into Abbey Road as well. It's this crossroads. This is the White Album. That's how come it has that foggy feeling, Here you are, you're going down one street, you might be expecting one thing, and it's a little bit foggy, your headlights aren't quite working, and you wind up, at Revolution number 9. It's like, okay, where the heck are we, man? It's like, what is going on? But it's okay. Just sit back, cut your engine off, or just keep it going if you want, and maybe just kind of start going down one street. Who knows what it'll go to. Maybe you'll go to Julia, or maybe you'll go to Why Don't We Do It in the Road. It doesn't matter. Like with the White Album, it is all good. It's all beautiful inside here. There's a lot in here to experience, and that's what I love it. It's just, it all goes together. It's absolutely all perfect as it is. It's what they wanted. It's what they had to say. It's called the Beatles, by the way. It's them. So you don't take a song here, just randomly. You don't want to take out I Will or Mother Nature's Son, both lovely songs. I love I Will. I really, really do. So don't take it out. If you want to go ahead and think about what you might like, go ahead. I think that they'd be okay with that. But as for me, it's the whole package. It's the whole thing. It's that time when I was a teenager listening to them, immersing myself, kind of like going, whoa, what am I listening to? Like, I don't understand it because again, you're a teenager and you're at a crossroads yourself. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. You just kind of know, hey, I'm not really a kid anymore. I'm going someplace and it's a little foggy out there. What's going on? Okay. I mean, it's great. I love the backing vocals, all these cool things that are going on, and the different sounds and the different instruments, and it's all over the place. It's up and down. Never a dull moment with the White Album, just like when you are a teenager. Okay. A lot of unexpected stuff here. And you have to experience it. You've got to get through every song here, okay, before you can reach adulthood, okay? That's the rule. So them's my rules here, with regards to the White Album. Again, that's just me. That's just me. Again, it's not the rules. I shouldn't say that, but again, it sort of is. I think that you would have a better experience listening to them all, trying not to label this or label that or say, okay, what does he mean by this song? Or, oh, that's not good enough. Or, oh, what's going on? It doesn't matter. Okay, Cry Baby Cry, it's on there. It doesn't matter. Can You Take Me Back? I love Can You Take Me Back? Oh my God, it's just haunting. It's taking you down. That's Paul kind of saying at that crossroads saying, follow me down this way. And George with Long, Long, Long. It's like you're a teenager and you're kind of going, what is that? I mean, I can feel that. Like, that is something that I want to feel. It's like, what is he saying? And you're leaning in to George. Like, he's saying, what are you saying, George? What is that about? And they're having fun. Okay, what is that noise? It's just kookiness is all Long, Long, Long is. Well, not all of it, of course, but definitely that very end. That's what the White Album is. Just them, like, going from one thing to another. Yeah, it's a little bit disjointed, but it's just so cohesive and perfect in its imperfections. Just like a gangly teenager who is like, looks crappy one day and looks great the next, who you love one day and you hate the next. Okay, this is them being teenagers. This is them in their in-between time. This is them kind of saying, hey man, F you, but will you love me anyway? Will you please? I mean, that's this teenagers, man. They're cranky. You can't really tell them what to do. They're just not going to listen to you. You just kind of have to sit back and let them go through it, saying, okay, we've been here before. I mean, they're a little bit scary right now, but, I love them. I just love my teenager. I just love him. So I'll wait. I know they're going to get over this, but then when they get over it, you go, oh, look back and you go, oh, I get it now. I was there. I love these guys. Yeah, I'm going down a little bit of a weird road here, but I've always felt that about the White Album and the Beatles at this time, that this was them putting that period of the 60s behind them, where, they had to be a certain way, where they had to kind of put forth something or an image that they really weren't, that they were kind of subjugating or sublimating their real selves. And finally, I think through Sgt. Pepper and through their experience of Rishikesh, it's all kind of culminating here, kind of saying, no, this is who we are. At least this is where we're going. Okay, we're just kind of saying, okay, there's more to us here. We haven't quite figured it all out yet, but at this point, we've got it all figured out. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely, and I hate to keep on saying that word magic about the Beatles, but yeah, this is some Beatles magic right here with the White Album. Yeah, they take you down that crossroads with them. You're experiencing what they're experiencing. You don't know what it is. They don't really know what it is. They're just doing it. And yeah, it's self-indulgent. Yeah, they're teenagers. Yeah. They're eating the chocolate. They're doing all that. They're dissing their friends like Sexy Sadie and Bungalow Bill, and they're making fun of their other friends over there with a glass onion. And they're paying tribute to their other friends like Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys. God bless you, Brian Wilson. So there's just so much here all at one time. Ringo kind of breaks through here. He's like, here's my song. George breaks through. gently weeps. Here's my song. This is it. Then Paul kind of breaking through. Helter Skelter. This is it. This is how we're doing it. And then John breaking through in his own way. Like Julia. And on the flip side of that is his revolutions. Man, teenagers, what are you going to do with them? No, you really don't. You just kind of let them do what they're going to do. And I actually think this is what they did in the studio with the Beatles. They just said, okay, you guys, you're on your own. We just do what you do. And you know what? Thank God that happened. Okay. They just, the Beatles said, get out of our way. This is what we're doing. And they did it. And it is an absolute masterpiece. So again, I hope you get where I'm coming from with this, that it is perfection, that it all is one complete package. And if you take away one song, it's no longer the White Album. It's no longer the Beatles here. It's perfect, just as it is. Isn't it lovely? Okay, you want to accept your little angsty teenager here. You want to love it. You want to give it some love because, and this is them. This is their high school portrait right here, and you just got to love them. And you'll always keep that, like up here, your portrait on the piano. You're going to keep that of them your whole lives, and you're going to look back on that fondly. Right? Because at one point in time, they're no longer going to be around. They're not going to be in the house anymore. That's the Beatles right there, man. And it doesn't that's them at that time where the whole world is out in front of them. Yeah, it was already out in front of them at one point in time, but here it all is again, that bigger world where they are kind of like the masters now. And they understand that they're the masters. And they're going out there and they're doing their thing and they have a lot more to do. And that takes them to that other level where they are, John, Paul, George, and Ringo. And that's fair and that's good because, they all leave the house at one point in time. That's fine. That's okay. But you still have this. So take this. This is my recipe. This is my recommendation. Take this. Appreciate for what it is. Love it for what it is. It's the Beatles. At that magical point in time where anything was possible and everything was possible. Things that you didn't even know was possible. That they didn't probably. But they did it anyway. Just like they always do. And that is what's in those headphones, man. So another recommendation. Headphones and loud. Thank you so much for sitting here and being with me. Being with me and the Beatles, me and the White Album as angsty teens. I really appreciate it. And until next time, peace and love one another. Oh my God. I actually kissed it. I didn't mean to do that. Oh my God. Okay. With Obla Di, Obla Da, I kind of wonder, was Paul kind of making a wish here? Was he saying, hey, I wish this was my life. This sounds like a fun, easygoing life here. Me and my wife, we're just kind of together doing what we like to do. My wife is a singer in a band. Who knows? It could happen.